Hello and welcome back to this channel. My name is Zoe and in this video I want to start my new reading vlog for the Cozathon week 1. Today is the 1st of January. When I'm looking done, it's because I'm done. I had night shift, I still have one night to go. I'm currently in last sprints with Simone, eating my dinner before going to work. And I've already finished the first book for this Readathon. It was Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. This book was for the prompt short book because it has only 160 pages. And I enjoyed it. I give it 3 stars in the end. So what can I say about this book is that I think I liked it, of how it commented on the world, on the socials. It's mainly about this woman who works in a convenience store and she loves to work in a convenience store. She's like, I'm reborn as a convenience store working woman. I have nothing else in my life and I don't want anything else in my life. I just want to work in a store. The store is my place to be. The store is the perfect thing that I ever need in my entire life. I don't need sex, I don't need marriage, I only need a convenience store. Which is fine. This is really passionate. I really need to compliment her on that. Not that I think to work in a convenience store is bad, but this is really passionate to be about for your job. To be like, I'm born for this. I don't need anything else in my entire life, and I'm born for this. It really comments on how people react to her, that she works in a convenience store. That people are telling her that she should quit, that she needs a real job. And she's like, this is a real job. You need to work at a place like this. And also that she's not married yet, that she's over 30, that she doesn't have a partner, never had a partner, and that she needs to get married and have kids because as a woman, this is her only purpose in life, which is something I think if you're a woman, you already heard 1,000 times. So I really liked that commentary. But there were a few things in there I didn't know what to do with it. So I decided for 3 stars, which is a pretty average rating. And this was my first read in the new year. I don't think really that it was funny and hilarious, like Sally Rooney said on Aleph Batuman. But I also read a Sally Rooney book, so I don't even know what she thinks is funny. And what I'm also reading in the moment is It's Not About a Burqa. I'm listening to this as an audiobook. It's a multiple essays about a woman, being a Muslim woman, and how the world sees them and how they really are. And it's about different themes about being queer, feminism and stuff like that. And so far I'm really enjoying this. And I hope to learn some new things. That's all I can say now. I think I'm only 5% in it. Then I am also reading King of Wrath by Huang. I think I placed this down for my favorite trope for the Cozathon because it's about a bit of arranged marriage. I kind of like the trope because they're like really grumpy about it and they're like, oh, I don't want to marry you, and then they would like kill for the other one. It's like, I don't know why I'm liking this. And so far I'm a little bit meh about the book. Despite being this one of my favorite tropes. But I'm excited to see what's happening in the book. And the next book that I'm reading is Send Me Their Souls, I think. This is the last book of a series that I started some years ago. I don't know when. Never finished it. And I started listening to this, I think yesterday. And I don't really like it. Because firstly, I can't really remember what's going on. I know what's the basics, what's going on. That she's a heartless, that she's under the spell of a witch. Like the witch has her heart, and so if she wants to get it back, she needs to kill the crown prince of this kingdom. And yeah, you don't really need to know because it will be spoiled. And I know how the second book ended. I forgot the name, so it was really confusing to get right into the third book to listen to this, but how they're talking, but the problem is that I'm I think 20% into this book, and it's so cringy how they talk about being in love with each other that I don't think I might DNF this, just for the fact that I read a lot of romance last year. A lot of romance last year. Sometimes there were some embarrassing and cringy things happen in the book, like public scenes. But the way these teenagers talk about how much in love they are with each other, I really considering DNFing this book. Because I don't know where the story is going, what's the plan now from the witch. I don't know. And I'm reading some reviews that people are liking this. And I think if I read it right then when I bought it back then when I was fully deep into the story, I think I might enjoy this too. But for the fact that I don't know anything about this, honestly don't really feel the need to reread the series, I might DNF this instead of books. I think this is my new year resolution, is to DNF books when I'm not really vibing with that, and read a different book instead, because my time is limited and I have a lot of fun with books. So yeah, I'm DNFing this. This was a really quick decision. Talking this out loud was a good decision. I'm DNFing this. Okay, this was the update for today. I'm eating my dinner now and talking a little bit to my boyfriend, then talking to Lucy and Simone, and then I need to go to work. And hopefully we'll talk tomorrow again with updates of maybe what I'm reading. I haven't updated you in a while. I'm this close to finish King of Wrath, and I'm also this close to finish listening to It's Not About a Burqa. I'm really enjoying It's Not About a Burqa. I think I will not say that I'm learning typical newer things. I already know some things, but I like it how it gets explained more further than I already know, and I like it for that. And I also like that there are different essays in the book itself, and you also have like different voice and narrators for each essay that someone wrote. I don't know if actually the authors themselves of the essay are the narrator of their own story, but if it is like that, I really appreciate it and I really like it. I try to finish now King of Wrath, so I'm done with it. And what I can now also tell you is that I signed up for my first test, my real test in person for my marketing class. So I spent today 4 hours in learning the first part of my text. I'm really nervous because I only read through the script, so I can take the online evaluation tests. So I can sign in for the test, the actually test of this class. But I haven't really learned the actually text so far. So I'm really nervous. It's in February, in the middle of February, so it's enough time to learn it. And I know that I can do this because I learned worse things in a short time than marketing. Not saying that marketing is I'm not saying that marketing is not that hard. It's definitely different from what I learned before, and it's harder than what I ever learned. What I mean with I learned harder back then when I did have my apprenticeship is that I learned for different classes at the same time. So I had multiple classes at the same time in the same week where I had tests. So I learned definitely for 4 classes at the same time, and also learning things in a different language, like in Latin. I never had Latin, and I need to learn the whole anatomy of a body in Latin, and I managed to do that. So I think I'm fully capable of learning marketing in 4 weeks. So, but I'm still nervous because it's my first test in 4 years that I take. So.
Saturdays with you. There's so many clouds in my room. Let the music play a while, even in the after hours. You looking hella cute. I'm in a Saturdays with you. I'm in a Saturdays with you. I need some new clothes, head to the thrift shop for something. Feels like I'm at Damon because I'm going hunting. Got a couple of shirts, found a few that were name brands. We talking shit like fuck these corporations while the logo's on our right chest. I know what you thinking, the blunts in my left hand. Gives these Saturdays a little more life, man. We both plead the fifth, but flashing lights ring. Graduation never felt so distant. I'm in a Saturdays with you. There's so many clouds in my room. Let the music play a while, even in the after hours. You looking hella cute. I'm in a Saturdays with you. There's so many clouds in my room. Let the music play a while, even in the after hours. You looking hella cute. I'm in a Saturdays with you. I'm in a Saturdays with you. She parks by the tennis courts, I don't mind. Brown button eyes like you Coraline. Oh, that's frightening. The movie plays, and laughter floods the window pane. And I'm waiting for
Listen. Reading update time. It's, I don't know what fucking day it is. Friday? I don't know. I started Crave as my book veteran, TBR veteran prom for Cozathon. Listen. I listened to only 5%. I'm in chapter 3. And the conversation that Grace had with one guy, or the inner monologue, was so cringy that I listened to this in an audiobook. I wish I could somehow erase the memory. When people told me this book is bad, I didn't know it was that bad. She was like, oh my god, this guy is so attractive, but he is like, look, he's totally a bad boy. But he's hot. But no, he will not save me. But he's hot. What am I? Do I turn into a YA fantasy romance girl who falls in love at first sight into this guy, even though he's a bad guy? No, I'm not doing that. And she literally does that. No. DNF. That was a quick decision. I DNF this book at 5%. Because if the first 5% of the book was the way the whole book is, I can't. I will not write this. I'm just writing this down as a DNF. And I need another book for my TBR veteran. Because I think, but in defense of this book, I think if I read this with 15, I would eat this shit up. I think with 15, when I'm reading this at 15, this will be my new favorite, I think. I can tell this from the first 5%. I would love this. This would be my personality at 15, but not with 23, almost 24. Almost. I'm turning 24 in 6 months, but 23.5. It's not the vibe anymore for me. So yeah, what is considered a veteran? I take a look at my bookshelf, okay? Wait a second. Okay, I found one book, Kingdom of the Cursed. So I bought this book. I think I bought this book after or a while before I started reading the first book, and I have it here since then. I read the first book in 2021 for the first Readathon. I read the first book. So I have Kingdom of the Cursed here since then. I also have the audiobook. This is why I picked out this book. I think I have 2 other books also on this list. I show you the alternatives to this book, okay? Wait a second. I have Munchausen by PC Cast. I think I have this book also since before I moved into this apartment. So I think I have this book for now since 2019, I think. I think I bought this after I moved in my first apartment that I lived on my own. And I also have City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert. This is I think the oldest book that I have on my TBR that I haven't read yet. So technically I should read this, but it's very thick. It's like in this little mass paperback book with these tiny font. So I will not do that. Wait, let's see if I have this an audiobook option. Oh, actually, awesome audiobook. Uncut version. 14 hours and 55 minutes. You know what? I'm going to read this, but I listen to the audiobook of it because I have the audiobook option for it. And this is the longest. This is the book that I have the longest on my TBR. And I can tell you that for sure because I bought this book when it came out. It was published, the English version of it, okay? I bought the published English version of this book. Yeah, June 2019. And the funniest thing is that I bought this even though I can't even, at this point when I bought this, I didn't even read English books. I didn't. I bought this fully known that I don't read in English. I only have read so far in German when I bought this. So, and it's a thick book, and it's an adult book. So I didn't know how. I was thinking that this book is the right choice for me. But okay, the book is really long, 609 pages. The audiobook, the German audiobook, by the way, is only 15 hours long. That's a really short audiobook for this amount of pages. Apparently it's the uncut version. I don't care. I will read this and then I will check on you later.
Oh, this season thing has never worked out for me.
I just want to close out the vlog and tell you what I read this week in the first week of the Cozathon, and then I will end this vlog and start a new one. So I managed to read 4 books. The first book that I finished was Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. I hope I pronounced it correctly. And this was a 3-star for me. This was for the prompt short book. King of Threats by Huang. I don't know if I even talked about this book because I'm a little bit afraid to say this out loud. But I finished this, obviously, and I rated it 2 stars. And the thing is, why I rated in the end 2 stars is that this book was it was boring. It was a boring book. I'm sorry to say that. If this is your favorite book, I can see that why many people are liking this. But it was compared to the other romance books that I read in the last couple of months. And even with dark mafia romance, there was so much better books out there. And this is not one of it. It is so blank. There's nothing what really happens in there. I don't really care for the relationship. There's nothing new. And also, I don't see the dark in the dark romance. The title says Ruthless Mythic Colors. I definitely pronounced this wrong. Arrogant. He was arrogant. He was definitely arrogant, but I would not say ruthless. Because like the bad thing about him, what Vivian pointed out what is bad about him, are things I think I would do the same. But okay. Then I finished It's Not About a Burqa. I really enjoyed this book. I rated this in the end 5 stars. It was a really good non-fiction book about Islam and women in Islam. A lot of new things. And I would definitely recommend this book to you if you want to learn something new and you're open-minded. And it was also short. So this is, by the way, King of Wrath is, I counted this as my favorite trope because I like arranged marriage. It's not about a burqa. I could count this as a short book, but I so far did not do that because I already read one. But maybe I will do this. And then I actually finished yesterday Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. This is a YA romance. And let me tell you something. I read it in the end 3 stars. And this book was actually really good. So you might ask, why is it 3 star then? Because I think the book would be better if it would not concentrate on the romance in the book. We have 2 characters, Bradley and Celine, and both are black kids. They're kids. They're 17. They are on the edge of going to adulthood, to be almost done with school and about to start uni. And a lot of the themes in this book are circling around mental health, because Bradley has OCD and Celine has a really not so good childhood and a biological father who does not care about her. And honestly, these themes hit too close to home, especially with the biological father. I could see myself a lot in it. And also finding out, what do I want to do in my life? Do I want to go to university? What do I want to do at university? And Bradley and Celine were friends, but then because of kids drama, they are no longer friends and they're enemies now, but they find back together in this book. And it concentrates a lot on the romance, but when I'm honest with you, I would love to see this book without the romance. It was cute, yes, definitely, but I think the whole romance part overshadowed the other aspects in the story, especially finding yourself and find peace within yourself, what happened to you, and be friends again. And I think these are the 3 main themes that I would like to see, that Talia would maybe more concentrate on these themes. They were prominent, but I wish she got more into depth with these 3 themes than instead of the romance. I would just be also a great YA book for YA teenagers. But Talia Hibbert is a romance book author, so obviously she writes romance books. But I would say if it were more concentrated on these themes, I think this would be a 5 star for me. Yeah, and that was it. I hope you enjoyed this talk. I hope you had a lot of fun in the first week of the Cozathon, and then let me know in the comments what you read, if you even participate. If not, what did you read this week? We'll link everything in the description down below. If you want to follow me on my other social media, I would be happy to have you there. And then I will see you in my next video. Bye!